Right.
You're a racist, I'm a racist, everybody's a racist. This word gets overused. It hardly has any meaning anymore. But this is a classic case of the pot calling the kettle black. Mrs. Bill Clinton is a recipient of the Margaret Sanger Award. As you know, the founder of Planned Parenthood, she was a eugenist who supported the extermination of the black race. She called the black race a weed. She embraces that award. She embraces the support of an organization, Planned Parenthood, that kills more black babies than any other race. This is a party, the Democrat Party, that stood in the way of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, that stood in the way of Lincoln trying to free the slaves, that embraced and endorsed and voted for Senator Robert Byrd, a former Klansman. They welcomed him into the party, as they did George Wallace, who stood in the schoolhouse door and said, segregation today, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever. So her party has a history of racism, and so I'm not going to sit up here and be lectured by Mrs. Bill Clinton about who's a racist or who is not.
Democrats don't want you to remember about Robert Byrd. They try to sweep that under the rug and want you to try to forget
the longest-serving Democratic senator ever.
Don't bring up Robert Byrd. But, you know, right now Republicans are split. You read the front page of the New York Times this morning, of course. You have Jeb Bush saying he will not endorse Donald Trump, that he, quote, doesn't have the temperament to be president of the United States. So there are some on the right saying, look, we need to unite. That's the only way we're going to beat Hillary Clinton. You agree?
Oh, wholeheartedly. Look, the circular firing squad has to stop. I've been telling people, hold your fire for now. Let's let the smoke clear and take an assessment of where we're at right now. I think it's political suicide for anybody to talk about sitting this out, for waiting another 4 years and allowing Mrs. Bill Clinton to become the next president of the United States. When I hear crazy talk like running another candidate or writing somebody else's name in, that's tantamount to playing Russian roulette with a semi-automatic handgun. How smart is that? It's time for people to realize that Donald Trump, like him or not, connected with more voters than any other candidates. I say, don't get upset with Donald Trump. Get upset with your candidate who could not connect with the voters to win this nomination. I think in time, look, Donald Trump is going to have to convince people to vote for him. That's his job. I'm not telling anybody to get on board. You can do what you want with your vote. But to sit up there at this point now and let raw emotion, and that's what Jeb Bush was doing, raw emotion, and anybody else saying never Trump is going to have to pivot and start saying, and it might be hard, a hard, bitter pill for some people to swallow, but they're going to have to start saying never Mrs. Bill Clinton.
All right, Sheriff David Clarke, always great to see you. Coming out of Wisconsin this morning.
Russian roulette with a semi-automatic. That is my new favorite phrase ever. I'm going to steal it and not give you credit. Thanks a lot, Sheriff.
You're very welcome.